Hello, this is Noreen from diycards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yay! For more of my card videos, please click the subscribe button and the little bell, and you'll be notified when my videos release. I also give away the demo card, so if you're a first-time subscriber, put your email in the comments, and I'll email you back and let you know you won the card. Or if you're a current subscriber, I could be giving away that particular card for anyone who is a subscriber, so you just never know. Now, make sure you watch the video all the way through because there could be clues for something. And now let's go make a card. Today's card, we're actually going to be doing a technique, and we're going to start out with a technique first, and I'll show you the cards I come up with at the end. So how I came up with this is actually, I didn't. I'm part of a huge demonstrator, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator community. So we do card swaps and all kinds of stuff. And the mystery cards are coming from that as well, that I post once a month. So this one is part of our card swap, and it is an alcohol blend technique. Now, this comes from Linda Bettinger. She's Ink and Ingenuity. She's actually my upsell lady, and she's awesome. And she also has a YouTube channel, so check out Linda. If you haven't already, you probably were with her before you came with me. But anyway, so what we're going to need is a few things. Get a couple of little bowls here because I'm going to be showing you how to use the alcohol as you go. And then mine's a little different because I like to change things up. So we're going to be using this Whisper White as well. So actually, you're going to need a third one of these. And then you're going to need a couple of brushes. One we're going to use for the white, along with one of the little dishes, and the other for the alcohol. You also need the 91% isopropyl alcohol, if you can say that 3 times fast, not the 70. The 70 doesn't work as well. So I had to go out to Walgreens and fetch this. If you hit a couple of Walgreens, you'll run into it. It's in the Band-Aid section. So make sure it's 91%. The other thing you're going to need is one of these cardboard pieces that you get with your Stampin' Up! DS papers in the back of your package. I always save those for all kinds of stuff, and we're going to need this because when we are going to be doing this, we're going to be doing this on vellum, and we're going to need something underneath. And then also, whatever blending pens you have, and we're going to be using only the darks because you really need the darkest amount of color because you want to lay down a lot of ink on the vellum piece. So get out all your darks and just whatever you have, and we're going to be playing around with some colors. Now I have my cardboard piece. Also grab a piece of scratch paper and then grab some vellum, and look in the body of my video. I'll give you a bit.ly link direct to buy Stampin' Up! Vellum through me. So and go ahead and and I use just the regular size, and I cut them into 4 sheets, so you get 4 in one thing. Also grab a pen because we're going to be doing a lot, and as I did this and experimented, I wanted to make sure I knew which colors I'm going to use. So this one I'm going to be using a Misty Moonlight. I'm also going to be using Seaside Spray, and I'm going to be using Highland Heather, and these are all the darks. I also grabbed a paper towel. You'll definitely need that. Now, these 3 colors, I made this. Isn't this cool? This was really neat. So we're going to make this one to start out. So I'm going to grab 2 of those dishes, and I'm going to grab the alcohol. And don't use a lot because every time we switch colors, we're going to be getting rid of this alcohol, and we're going to clean off our brush and pour it into this one. So as I'm changing colors, I'm not having to run to the bathroom, clean my brush, and go back and forth. So I'm using this as my disposal little dish. So I'm going to put that to the side. My alcohol over here. I'm going to grab my brush. It's kind of a flat brush here. And we're going to start with the lightest color first. So I'm going to go with the Highland Heather, and it's the dark Highland Heather. And if you watch on Linda's video too, because I learned it from her, and this is part of our swap for this month, is she just does a whole bunch of colors everywhere. So make sure that you get like the corners. She said that. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do of Highland Heather. Now I'm going to be doing dark Seaside Spray, and I'm going to be filling in the other color. I'm going to try not to touch other colors with the pen because it will kind of pick it up. So I'm going to be doing, after I give it some of this color, I'm going to be kind of wiping it off. And then I'm going to go to the dark misty moonlight and do the same thing. And I'm going to be kind of coloring in between. And you don't have to color the whole, I mean, if there's a little spots where it's white, that's okay. But try to get most of it in, but you don't have to be real intricate about it. Okay, so there are my colors. Now I'm going to grab that brush and dip it into the alcohol. Now I'm going to hit the lighter colors first and then go into the dark misty moonlight. Now it might show some puddle marks because I know when I was originally doing this, I got some puddle marks on some, and you can kind of even those out. So I'm going to hit that seaside spray and just activate the color a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to go into that Highland Heather. Okay. I'm not going to hit that Misty Moonlight yet because it will color that alcohol when you dip back in. And now I'm going to go into the Misty Moonlight. Now you can see the puddling marks around here, but as we go through, you can go over those little lines if you don't like them, and you might like them, you know, it all depends on what you like, and just go over it and I'll get rid of those marks and you get something really cool. Now let me tell you a trick. Okay, the hardest part about doing this technique is knowing what colors really work together, and there is a trick, but I'm finishing this up now and it's looking really cool. So once you get the effect you want, then you want to set it out to dry. And like I said, don't forget to write down the colors that you use. So if you like this, you can duplicate it. So this was my first one, and they'll never be 100% the same because whenever you use any kind of ink, it's never going to be 100% the same. But this is what this one looks like. Now, I'm going to be switching to a different one. So this is where I'm using the other dish. So I'm going to clean off my brush and the leftover, and you can see I have a lot of alcohol, so on my next one I'm not going to be using as much alcohol because one, that 91% is a little hard to find still. You know, we're just coming hopefully to the end of COVID, so you see a lot of the 70%, but the 91 is the one you want, and I know they have it at Walgreens. So they didn't have it at King Soopers if you have a Kroger or King Soopers around. But go to a Walgreens and then clean off your brush and your paper towel and put your discard pile to the side, and we can start another one. So this is the first one, and then let me show you the trick. Well, here's a trick. Does that look familiar? That is DS paper, and I am going to, this is the trick for getting your colors. Look at the backs of all your DS paper, and you've got, and I'll pull it out of my sleeve here, you've got all the color combinations that you'll need to do your colors. So here's Sand and Sea. So I know if I wanted to recreate or use the same kind of colors as this DS paper, I'm gonna grab my Blushing Bride, Flirty Flamingo, Melon Mambo, and I'm not gonna use the Sahara Sand, or it says Seaside Spray. That's a blue, so that's on a different one, and So Saffron. So I'm actually going to be using So Saffron, Flirty Flamingo, and I have no idea what I did with my Melon Mambo. I think I ate it, or my table ate it. It was delicious. So I'm gonna use Magenta Madness because it's pretty close. So I know if I use these three colors that they're gonna work together, and that goes with everything. On Ice Cream Corner, I know that Bermuda Bay, Blackberry Bliss, Purple Posy, these are all gonna match. On the Hydrangea, I know Gorgeous Grape, and you know, you've got all your colors right here. So there's really no having to guess a lot. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. So I got my piece of vellum, and I've got my colors here. So this is Flirty, So Saffron, and Magenta. So we're going to start with the So Saffron first. I always use the little painty end, and of course we need to start out and with some more alcohol. Now we did dump that other color out, but I gave it a little wipe with the paper towel and put in a little bit of the alcohol, not a lot. And now I'm going to do another one, and you can do patterns too. There's one that I did a little pattern on, but here's the So Saffron. Then I'm going to go into the Flirty Flamingo. Now the Magenta Madness, just to fill in some holes here. And these cardboard things, I'm sure most people keep those, you know. A lot of us do that. We have a problem with throwing things away that we can make a craft out of, right? So, and I'm just putting this wherever I want it. And then I'm going to go in with the brush again. And if you want to make sure that you cleaned your brush, dip it in there and see if you got it, and looks like it did. And then of course I'm going to start with those light colors again. So I'm going to put it on the So Saffron. Don't worry about it bleeding into something now. And then I'm going to go into that Flirty Flamingo, and it really gives great colors. But like I said, the hardest part is picking your colors, and you don't have to because it's all over our DS paper. So now I'm going to do the Magenta Madness, and I'm sure this looked great with Melon Mambo, but I swear to God I ate it. I do that all the time. Or my table, as everybody has the problem with their supplies, like eating something. Your tape could be right in front of you, and it's like, where's my tape? And it's like totally right in front of you. So this is these three colors, and I do believe this is the one I did earlier. So this dries really nice. So, and you could just take this and put it to the side, and we can do another one. And I'm going to go ahead and clean my brush here. See, the alcohol is pink, so clean that real good and wipe it off on your paper towel. Pour it into that discard pile here, and then wipe out your little container, and we can do another one. So now I'm going to show you a trick where we're going to use the white. So grab that third dish that you've got and use your refill Whisper white, and go ahead, and it is kind of thick, so just kind of squeeze it in the thing, and you don't need a lot, just like that much, so don't, go crazy. And then grab a second brush for the white, and we're going to recreate this. And now if you can tell, I'll put it on the clean piece of paper here, but it's got some white in it, like it's got waves. It's really kind of neat. I don't know if you could tell I don't think the video is going to do it any justice, but as you can see, I wrote down the colors here, so I know exactly what I did. So we're going to start with the dark Seaside Spray, and I'm going to do like verticals like this, so almost like ocean waves. Like I said, you could do a pattern and it'll look really cool. So I'm going to do like these kind of things, and then I'm going to move into the dark Misty Moonlight on the painty side and do the same kind of things. This was kind of cool when you add the white. I did it on a couple of ones, and I'll show you all the other ones that I made as well, because I made a whole bunch. And then at the end, I'm going to put it in some cards, and I'm going to use the cards in my card swap. So, and that is with our group. Now, if you want to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and join my huge group, and I have 2, and it's so supportive that even if you're doing it just for like the discount, because you can get like a 25% discount when you become a demonstrator, so it's kind of nice. But definitely we're the ladies to go with, and we started last month our blog hop. So that was new last month. Now we're doing these. Anyway, so now that's my white. Here we're going to do the same thing. We've got the clean alcohol, and make sure you don't have any remnants of pink or something from the thing before. In fact, I might even pour this out. Add a little bit of pink in there. And see, I dripped on this on the paper. Don't worry about that, because I'll show you how to fix your little boo-boos. And I'm going to try to hit all that Seaside spray, and now I'm going to hit the blue. And I am kind of brushing this on. You can dab it, you can brush it, but this one I want it to do like a wave, so I'm going to be brushing it. Now here's that boo-boo in the middle here. If you just go over it, it goes away. See, fixed it. Done. Make sure you get your edges and your corners. Make sure it's not hitting anything on your paper like this one did. Hit some pink that I had on my paper. And then make sure you hit all the spots before you move on to the next one. And now we're going to try the white trick. So this is really cool. So grab that white and a new brush. And since this is alcohol, it's going to dry pretty quick. So I'm going to put that down. I'm going to grab a new brush, grab a little bit of the white. And this is kind of a thin, pointy brush. I'm going to give this a second to sit. Now it's still wet. I'm going to go ahead, and it's okay. I'm going to just take it and do some strokes like this. Grab a little bit more. And I'm going to streak it. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And make sure you hold this down. Oh, another trick, and I'll do this on one of my video shorts as well. I grab a small Post-it, put the sticky side on your fingers, hold it on your paper, so you're not putting fingerprints on it. All right, and you got your white through it. So this is cool, and this is the other one with the white. So streak it with white, and it does a really cool thing. Now let me show you all the other ones I made. This one is Petal Pink, Blackberry Bliss, and Purple Posy. This one's Poppy Parade, Flirty Flamingo, So Saffron, and Petal Pink. This one I did something a little different. I put Pool Party, Old Olive, and Bermuda Bay in sections, and I did that, and I kept some of the watermarks on. So it's all about what you liked, but that's that one. This one curled up. And the only ones that curled up is when I used that 70% alcohol. I only had 70% because I bought it during the beginning of COVID and everything flew off the shelf because everybody was trying to make hand sanitizer. So this is what happened with 70. I didn't have any problem with the 90, but it did turn out kind of pretty. This is Seaside Spray, Petal Pink, Blackberry Bliss, and Purple Posy, and I left the little splotch marks on, and I'm going to try to see if I can get this to uncurl, either go it the other way or hit it with the thing, but this is what happens when you use the lower percentage of alcohol. This one is Pool Party and Old Olive and Bermuda Bay. This one is Magenta Madness and Mango. This is another example of the 70% alcohol, or I know that I was doing that, plus it's starting to curl, and I used some of the light markers. Only use the dark blending markers because the lights just aren't dark enough. So I'm actually going to check. Well, this one's okay. I mean, I could probably put it on something, but these, that was before I was even writing things down. So it looks like it's Highland Heather and maybe one of the yellows. So anyway, so this is a crummy one. This is a super cool one, and I don't know if you can see it from the video, but this is Rocco Rose, Petal Pink, and White. And this is really cool when you see it in person. So this one's neat. Now, that white will take a long time to dry. This I did yesterday, and it's still sticky. So when you use that white, try to wait a long time before you make a card. Hit it with your heat gun, but it'll take a while to completely dry. I just put my little finger in that. So put this to the side and get that cured. This one's interesting. They all kind of turn out different, but that's Blackberry Bliss and Granny Apple Green. Now this one I did kind of early on. It might take you a little bit of practice, kind of getting used to how much alcohol you put down and all that, but I was starting to get the hang of it. But I mean, I can still use this. It's kind of pretty. I can just put something bold on top, but this is Dark Rail Red and Shaded Spruce. So I can probably even reactivate that. In fact, you know, I'll do that at the end, and we'll see if I can reactivate it. This is Poppy Parade and Mango Melody. This one's actually one of my favorites. I really like it. It's so different. This is Daffodil Delight, Cinnamon, and Pumpkin Pie, and I just think this would be cool as like a fall card of some kind. This one I really liked. And finally, this one is also, I can tell it's one of the newer ones because it had some really harsh lines, but it's actually kind of cool. This is Dark Shaded Spruce and Highland Heather. Here's that one I wanted to try to reactivate, and it's Dark Rail Red and Dark Shaded Spruce. And let's see, after it drying overnight, if we can like smooth out some of these lines after the fact. Now, this is totally, you know, on-air experimental kind of stuff. I have not done this before. And you know, it's kind of making it a little muddy. So, and maybe it's just the colors, or I don't know. But I'm going to play with it in a minute, so I'm going to be right back. Okay, so I think I'm just making it muddy, and it might just be because of the colors. There's some pretty, you know, that Dark Shaded Spruce is actually a pretty dark color, and that Real Red. So, and if you're going to do it, I would do a lot of dabbing. Try not to wipe, because I wiped up here and I didn't down here. But I can cut this part and make something cool. I probably cut that part out. So now let's go ahead and I'm going to make some cards. For my next video where you'll actually see the cards that I make using this alcohol painting technique.